Hi everyone, I'm Mr. Crimson and I'm here to teach you how to play Dhalsim in 10 minutes. For those who don't know me, I placed myself 4th at the last World Final at Street Fighter 5. I recently won the Head Stomper, I won the Red Bull Comité and few others major. Okay, back in the game. So Dhalsim is a neutral control character. That means that your goal is to use your mobility and your long range normal to keep your opponent far from you. Okay? To do that, he got few normals. Of course, the standing medium kick, this is a pretty classic one, really important in this game, but less safe than it was in SF5. The standing medium punch also, really good, great range, 14 frames, so a bit slower than the standing medium kick. Those two moves are not cancelable, so this is not the main moves that you're gonna use in every situation, but it's still really good. Crouch medium punch, I think this is one of the strongest normals of Dhalsim in this game because it have a pretty correct range. It's cancelable, okay? It combo flame, etc. And also it's a great zoning tool just to poke your opponent and keep him away. You got also the standing heavy kick, who is really good because this is cancelable, good range, be careful, it will whiff on crouch opponents, okay? But on some range you will be able to get some nice combos. So this is still a move that I like to use a lot. Also, you got the down forward heavy punch. This is your anti-fireball move. So if I record a Ryu would throw a fireball, you will be able to react and to press this move to beat him. So this is really nice. He also got the standing heavy punch. This not go under fireballs, okay, but this done a lot of gray, like not gray hairs, but it take a lot of drive rush of your opponent. You see, half of a bar. This is really good, great range, but be careful with that because this have a lot of recovery and it's 16 frames. And also it's really easy for your opponent to whiff finish it if you did it on the wrong range. So I showed you a few neutral control moves, but this is nothing if I don't show you the anti-airs, right? So one of your most important anti-air will be the back medium punch. This is an insane anti-air, 8 frames, cancelable, so it's also a combo tool. And it will leave the opponent in some situation where he will have problem to deal with. Let's record another Ryu who do jump forward heavy punch, okay? If I anti-air him with this, I will use the heavy flame right after. The heavy flame is 3 hits, that means that it will break a drive impact. This is really good, but I will say more about the special move a bit later. So, others anti-air, you got the back heavy punch. This is a really good anti-air, of course, because it's cancelable, so it's still a good combo tools. But you can get few combos of anti-airs with that. For example, back heavy, drive rush, back heavy, heavy flame. This is not really hard to do and that deal a lot of damage. So this is also your main anti-air. Last anti-air that I'm gonna show you will be the jump float with medium punch. This is really important because in this game there is few jumps that you will not be able to anti-air, especially the cross-up angles. So you need to have an air-to-air to do that. And this is an insane move, especially if you cancel it by the float. So this is important to know. So this is for the anti-airs. Of course, there is few others like heavy kick, okay. There is also the blast. The blast, despite the fact that he go in the air, it's not that much something that you will use that much in anti-air, but I will say more a bit later. Dhalsim got a lot of special moves. One of the most important is the Yoga Fire. This is really good. It goes full screen. You got many variations of speed. The light one will go slower than the heavy one. So you need to use it to set up traps to force your opponent to like parry or jump to be able to anti-air them. You got also the Yoga Arch. This is the move that he had in SF5. This is an excellent fireball, okay, because it will protect you from the air angle. Many people like to jump when they expect a fireball, but this will protect you and still let your opponent in some complicated situation. You can teleport on the back, you can just dash to get a throw, you can do many things with that. Also, you got the Yoga Comet, okay? Quartz circle back in the air. This is really useful, especially in the air, or to set up cheap situation. Also, one important thing is that you will have one possibility in the air. For example, if I want to teleport, I can do it. If I want to float, I can do it. If I want to drill, same, okay, after the Yoga Comet. So this is pretty good. You can also use it sometime on Shimmy, like to do some good combo as this. So it's pretty much the really similar to the Gale, to the EX Gale. This is something that most of the time you will use in EX. I recommend to use this move when your opponent is in burnout because you will not be able to parry it, and this does a lot of cheap damage on burnout. The Yoga Flame is your main combo tool. But in this game, it's also a zoning tool. The Heavy Flame go really far. It 3 hits. So if your opponent like to do some random drive impact, you can just throw a Yoga Flame and you will be safe. You see, armor break. And also you can use it in many combos. So the Yoga Flame is still really important in the game of Dhalsim. Okay, what we got next? We got the teleport. So he got many teleport, he got a ground teleport. This is not invulnerable, okay? So if your opponent meets you, you will lose, you will get counter hit. But this is like a mobility tool. This is something that you will use to either attack your opponent, either escape some situations. So the teleport is really important. For example, after a Yoga Blast, okay, in that situation you will be able to teleport in the face of your opponent and be plus, you see, +3. That means that I am able to throw my opponent or to meet him, etc. So all the special moves of Dhalsim work with each others. You see, there is a synergy to get. You got the Yoga Blast. So the Yoga Blast is the main combo tool, I think, in this game, but you need to be careful of something. If your opponent crouch, your Yoga Blast will whiff. The Yoga Flame will hit. So you need to watch the stance of your opponent during your combos. There is few moves who force your opponent to stand. The back medium punch is one of them. So the Yoga Blast pretty much every time, except if you spot that your opponent got hit standing, you will go for the back medium punch heavy blast. This is something really important. Okay, now we got the drill. This is your main pressure tool. You will have to practice again and again and again to be able to space your drill. There is situation where it's better to jump back, heavy drill. There is situation where it's better to jump forward, heavy drill. There is situation where it's better to neutral jump into heavy drill or medium drill to hit your opponent. What do you want is to be able to hit your opponent the lower possible. Like you saw there, I'm +2. After 2 lag jump back, light drill, I'm on a street. So this is a really bad drill. But if you use it with medium, you will be +2 again. So it requires experience, okay? Calm, patience. But with time, you will be able to use your drill and to be extremely deadly with this drill. This is also a shimmy tool, but I will say a little bit more later. There is a new drill in this game, it coming from the older Street Fighter, but it has a special usage, is the drill with crouch and light punch. This drill is not that much a pressure tool, but it's a tool that you will use, especially when your opponent is in burnout, because it's cancelable. You can do a air, something, whatever you want, in terms of special move, of course, after using that drill. So this is really interesting to use. In some situation you can staying teleport to make with some lights. In some other situation you can chip your opponent out to do it again and again and again. So this is a really sick move. Okay, so Dhalsim got 3 super level 1. He got the light one. This is for the range. In some situation you will have to use it instead of the medium one who deal more damage, but this have less range, and the heavy one who have a good anti-air covering and a okay range also. The main situation where you will use it will be after the EX Flame. In that situation, you will use, for example, the heavy super. Be careful, this is not invincible, okay? The level 2, you got the Street Fighter 5 critical art. So this is really interesting. You can also charge it. So you can get big damage, like huge damage. Let me show you that situation. You can also chip your opponent in many situations. For example, is there, I can throw like a light fire and throw immediately, wrong, super. Light fire and throw immediately my level 2. And in many situations, this will basically be checkmate. But one of the main usage of it will be in this situation. This situation, you will be able to get huge damage with the level, like the level 2. As you see. So this is something that you will most of the time use in this situation. You can also do it after the EX Flame. Remind you to use the heavy one because it whiff if you use the light one. So be careful with that. The critical art is really good. Like good range, pretty fast. Also combo of most of your special moves from the Yoga Fire to the Yoga Flame. But be careful, in some situation this might whiff if you use the wrong special move. So for example in corner, let's say that I have a drive impact, okay, on block. In this situation I will use the heavy flame into the critical art. If I use some others, like for example the crouch heavy into blast, this will whiff sadly. So you need experience to know what will work and what will not work. Let's have a check on few important combos. So the back medium kick flame, this is the classic one, really important. After the flame, be careful, you will not be plus if you teleport on the ground. Okay, so this is something you need to watch out. But you got many others, meaty, for example, you got the drive rush into slide, or you can do another fireball on the screen to cover and to push your opponent a little bit more, etc. As I said, it's always better to get the blast instead of the flame because you get better damage and also better situation, better knockdown situation. You see +3 there. Light drive rush, light back medium into blast. This is really important, one of the main combo of Dhalsim because it's like give you an opportunity to combo of drill. You can also get the critical art if you want after that. So this is extremely important. In corner, you will be able to get a sweep right after the blast. So in that situation, you will have an easy meaty. Let's say with the heavy flame, we'll let Dhalsim really plus on block. Let's have a check. You see +6 in that situation and you are on throw range. So this is really good. There is a lot of combo who will come from the slide, the medium kick slide, if you space it well. It's really important to know the spacing of your slide, because it can be plus on block, you can get few combos of it, etc. So it's really important. If you get, let's say that you get a punish counter drive impact, this will happen a lot. Many players love to do random drive impact against Dhalsim. You need to be ready for it. And as I said at the beginning of the tutorial, use cancelable normal as much as you can, because you will be able to react to it. After that, you get back heavy flame, heavy kick is good, and you get the light fireball on the screen. This is really good. If you want to spend a little bit more damage, a meter, you can do it. My bad. Get this kind of damage. That's pretty okay for drive impact punish counter. So this is good. So keep in mind that Dhalsim is really hard and technical, so it's okay to struggle at the beginning, but your work will be rewarded on the long term. This character has few weakness and a few strength, of course. One of his main strength is the neutral control, is the fact that if you can use your jauge, your drive jauge, and if you have a good knowledge about the opponent, about the matchup, etc., I really think that you have one of the potential strongest character in the game. Of course, in terms of weakness, if you don't like to not be able to stop your opponent when he's on you, when he's pressuring you, if you don't like to play and to adapt about your opponent, it's not your opponent who will adapt to you. You are the passive one. You are the one who wait for the mistake. wait for the jump, wait for the drive impact, for the drive rush, etc. So if you don't like that, I don't recommend this character. But if you do, go all in on it. It's really exciting to play. I hope you like this little tutorial. I know it was really fast. I can show many other things, but I think that's enough for a beginner to understand how to work this character. I recommend you also to watch few of the Dhalsim, high-level Dhalsim players. There is me, but not only. There is Torimeshi, there is F-Champ, there is Itsukik, there is Dankadilas. There is many Dhalsim in the world, so I hope you like it. Please leave a comment and subscribe, and I see you soon, guys.